Hello everyone, welcome back to In My Mug. Today's episode is Costa Rica ARBAR El Manantial. I'm a National Cup Taster finalist and your coffee friend Midori. Put your kettle on and let's get started. So I feel like I'm saying this every In My Mug episode, but I really like Central American coffee, especially Costa Rican coffee. It's not just because they produce amazing coffees, but also the sustainability ethos they have. Did you know almost 30% of Costa Rican territory is protected by nature reserve? And Costa Rica doesn't produce lots of washed processed coffee. If you want to know more about coffee process, I'm going to leave the link below, so please check it out. So, Costa Rica doesn't produce a lot of washed processed coffee. But why? So that's because they have a water law and they need to process the water after being used. And it is very expensive to process used water to be back in the nature streams. And today's coffee is white honey processed. So white honey process is a method invented in Costa Rica. Did you know this fact? So honey process is kind of a midway method, something between washed and natural processed coffee. What they'll do is remove only a portion of the coffee fruit and leave the inner layer. The coffee is then dried on a drying bed. Honey processed coffee tend to showcase a range of flavors, some tasting very similar to washed, other much closer to natural process. They are black, red, yellow, and white honey process. And the color in the name refers to the amount of sticky fruit that's left on the surface of the seed after depulping. Darker indicates more, lighter indicates less. We just roasted this Costa Rica ARBAR Manantial. So let's ask Chris how he's going to brew this awesome coffee.
So, a question we get asked quite a lot is how freshly should I use my coffee? Should I be resting it? Should I be brewing it straight away? And I think the real honest answer to that is, do whatever you want. Do whatever works for you. I can give you my recommendations and what I think works really well, but these are no way concrete and you don't have to do them. So for me, I really love to rest my coffee for about 5 to 7 days before I brew it as filter coffee. I'm going to brew as espresso. I'll probably give it a little longer, maybe 7 to 9. There's lots of different advice out there on the internet about what you should or shouldn't do. But really, it's up to you. I think a really great way to do this is to brew some coffee when you get it fresh. Brew it at 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 9 days, and just see what you like. See what works with your brewing, with your own palate, and just see what you think about how it tastes. So this coffee, I'm going to be completely honest with you, was roasted maybe 3-4 hours ago, so it is super fresh. And this is a very much a Hasbean roastery problem that I don't think you're probably going to have at home unless you're a home roaster. Something I'd really recommend doing if you are going to brew coffee really fresh is to grind it and let it rest. Give it 20 minutes, half an hour, just after it's ground, just to let it cool down and calm down just that little bit more, just so it's going to be a little more stable when you're brewing it. You'll get an awesome, lively, wonderful bloom at the start, and after that it should be a little more under control versus just like grinding and brewing straight away. So without further ado, we're going to brew some coffee. We have got 15 grams of delicious coffee, and it's going to be involved in a fight against 300 ml of water. 300 ml, that's a lie, it's 250. Try to catch me out there. So straight away we're going to do a bloom, and that's going to be of 50 grams. Nice little circle pours all the way up to 50. And because this coffee is mega fresh, which you might get at home as well, big bloom, which is a beautiful thing to see. If it's a little bit older, it's a little more rested, that bloom is going to be a little more controlled, a little more relaxed. Excellent stuff. Then at 30 seconds, we're going to add another 50 grams, and we're going to do a total of 5 50-gram pours as we go. This one goes up to 100. I'm just going to keep the brew bed nice and low, so it's wider, it's a little lower. This is a technique I was first introduced to a number of years ago now by a good friend called Ed. Ed, if you're watching, hello mate, how are you? This still lives on in my brewing. It evolves over time, and I think as home brewers, we're always like kind of tweaking and changing what we're doing. So if you ask me for a brew recommendation one week, it might be different to the one you get the next week. You just never know. It's great to keep an eye on things like social media and what other people are doing out there, just to see what other people are doing and to try and like take tips and tweaks But this is where I currently am in what I'm brewing and how I'm brewing. So by all means, give it a go. So yeah, just to confirm, it is 15 grams of coffee, 250 ml of water, 5 50-gram pours, and your final brew time should be somewhere around about 3 minutes. Some people out there like to do circle pours and center pours and to mess around with those. And to be honest with you, it's not something I've particularly experimented with. I always tend to do circle pours. Possibly controversially, I get the coffee from the edge that collects around the sides of the filters and wash it back down into the brew bed, because I think I don't want it up there being high and dry. I want it in the brew bed extracting to give me probably the most delicious cup that I'm going to taste. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I have no idea. Please don't DM me. Okay, this is our final 50-gram pour, and we're going to go up to 250 ml, 249. I guess I'm not going to win Brewer's Cup this year. Currently at 2 minutes and 15 seconds. This should be drawing down now. Be finished in about 45 seconds, around about the 3-minute mark. And when it gets to there, we're going to bring Midori back and we're going to taste the coffee together. So, see you then.
Thank you so much, Chris. So freshly roasted coffee, is it?
As fresh as you're going to get, I think.
Oh, wow.
But still, I think, tasting rather delicious.
It's quite sweet.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a wonderful brew. What do you taste?
So I think for me, there's like a little bit of lime, but not lime as in like fresh, juicy, you know, just squeezed or put in the top of a bottle of beer, shall we say. More like lime cordial, so like lime squash.
Oh, yeah, I can taste a bit of white sugar kind of taste. And like aftertaste of pineapple?
A little bit of pineapple, like kind of tinned pineapple juice perhaps, rather than again like freshly sliced pineapple. As you say, it's a really sweet, really interesting, like really nice crisp cup.
Yeah.
I think the white honey processing really like shines through, and that really helps it deliver that kind of crisp sweetness.
Yeah, I cannot wait to taste it when it's rested as well.
Sure, it'll be even more delicious than this brew have done for us.
Yeah. Thanks for watching today's episode. Leave in the comment below what do you think about this Costa Rica ARBAR Manantial. And if you want to know more about resting coffee or anything about roasting, just tell us in the comment. And please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you're not going to miss any more episodes in the future. Thanks for watching and happy brewing.